What is up, everyone? Welcome to the non-standard podcast of a non-standard episode coming at you right now. This is going to be a little different because what I'm going to do is provide you guys with a recap of the past 10 episodes. So if you're joining the podcast and you don't know which one to listen to, because I have just crazy cool guests on, this is what episode you're going to listen to first. I'm going to review the first 10 episodes I did, give a couple minutes on each so that when you figure out which one you want to listen to that meets your needs, you can. Or if you want to listen to something a little different, let's say you're in the military, but you want to listen to somebody outside of the military on how they develop leadership, there's going to be episodes for you there. So with that being said, like I say all the times, if you have learned anything or you take away anything or you just want to show support, it's pretty simple nowadays. Technology, share, save, comment, pass it on to a friend you care about, because leadership is all about passing it on and developing and learning these skills. We never make these up on our own because they've all been done before. All right, let's do this recap. Episode 1. If you haven't listened to it, you should jump on it right away because this is the first episode. My wife is the host, and she asked me the questions on why I started this podcast. We go into a little bit of my career, how I got started on this journey, and it's just cool because if you just want to get to know me, that's a great episode to start with. I will tell you in the future, I am going to do one more specifically about my career and the specific portions of my career as well. So that's episode 1. Episode 2 is my first, in-person episode with a Columba. He is an Army recruiter in town, a great friend of mine that we do a lot of rucking events with. So we have gotten to know each other. Doing the Bataan Death March was one of them where we spent multiple hours with 35 pounds on our back, rucking through the White Sands Missiles Range in New Mexico. But anyways, on to this episode, we talk about specifically the different leadership aspects in the Army and the Air Force at the lower level. So we hit, very importantly, how does the Army develop leaders? How does the Air Force develop leaders? So if you're looking to compare those mindsets, that's a great episode to jump into as well. We also talk about grit and then how to control your time, some of the other traits that we talk about. Again, in every episode, I talk about specific traits that these people bring forth that they have used throughout their career. Episode 3 is with my man, Aaron. Again, a new military person. So he works for First Form like me. He turned 36 and decided to join the Army Reserves after losing over 100 pounds to control his life. So again, an episode more about how do you control your life to be a leader. It's a great episode. This guy is just crushing everything he does. And I look forward to what he brings to the future as well in the military. Episode 4 is my man, Juan. He is an Army recruiter as well that I met through social media. And then his is pretty cool because we dive into sapper training, Ranger School, and how those apply to the Army and their leadership skills and how they can just benefit anybody in becoming a better leader. We also talk about some of his traits, which is being coachable and also always be learning. Again, you will hear these traits a lot, and you should be hearing them a lot because they're very common in how to become a good leader. So Sapper School, Ranger School, we talk about some of that and also how to be coachable and always be learning. Episode 5 is with my man, Jago. He's a pastor. He was a SEER instructor with me. So in this one, we dive into some SEER training stuff. How did that help us become a better leader when we were both enlisted? We talk about his deployments, his career, and also how that led him into a man of faith and developing that outside of the military now that he's out, being a pastor at a church and taking leadership from the military into that career as well. So this guy knows a lot. He's a great speaker and just has a great episode as well. Episode 6 is one of my first Q&A episodes. So I've done 2 of these so far, and all I do is I gather questions from people and I answer them with my man, Will. In this episode, we talk about criticism, failure, Monday morning quarterbacks, and accountability. So he just asked me these questions directly and I give my feedback on them. So these episodes can be for anybody, but they're great because they're specifically leadership traits on how you can take them and add them to your day. Episode 7 is with my man Gonzo, another rucking partner here at Dias, but he is also a reservist in the military as well, and he is winning literally every award you can think of in his realm. He's won them multiple times. They're giving him a hard time for crushing it. But his story is great because we talk about how he sort of came from nothing, having to start from the bottom, get into the reserves, and establish that mindset of becoming a great worker and a great person after working for a shipping company before he joined the military as well. So with Gonzo, we talk about grit again. We talk about relationships, and we talk about caring for people. Again, very common traits, but that are just overlooked and how to become a great leader. Episode 8 is with one of my greatest mentors and idols, Chief Coltrane. He was a rucking buddy of mine where we did the 80-mile ruck march in 3 days in the Netherlands. He was a 20-year command chief, one of the fastest to get there at Dias. He is now retired, working for Amazon. So we talk about how he takes those military traits, applies them to a civilian job, and his big 3 are honesty, integrity, and loyalty. So we talk about those specifically right there. Episode 9 is another Q&A that my man Will and I do. We take questions from people that send them to us, and we answer them. In this one, we talk about how to develop new leadership skills. Best and worst examples we both have at leadership. And then we also talk about innovation, and we also talk about negative mindset people. How do you deal with them? How do you work with them? How do you provide them feedback? It's a great episode. Again, very direct to the point on leadership. My most recent episode, episode 10, is with one of my longest friends I've ever known, Louis, from high school for over 20 years ago. So again, in this one, I love having Louis on because he's not in the military. He is a strength conditioning coach in California who has come up and started his own business in that side of a very evolving world and job. So we talk about in this one, obviously, how did he do this? How is he productive at it? How is he efficient at it? How does he keep doing it? It all comes down to it. Having growth is constant in that community and in that job. Relationships is key. KISS, keep it simple, stupid, is a great acronym he uses as a coach. And then also networking to learn new skills as well. So like I said, this episode is very short, but the intent is for you to listen to before you pick up which episode you want to listen to next. I will be doing these every 10 episodes. I'm just letting you guys know we're just getting started. I am recording 5 more episodes this week to pre-can for you guys, and we got some good ones. We got a guy on our base who is leading in innovation, and we talk about innovation is the key to leadership. I have another SEER buddy of mine who is working in 18 years in the SEER community, a great role model of mine as well. We have another Army warrant officer who's retired that's going to join us. We also have another gentleman who's about to take his first squadron command in the Air Force, and we're going to talk about how does the Air Force prepare you for that. I also have a Marine counterpart that I've worked with that has some great leadership skills, and we are only just getting started. So like I said, if you like this episode, let me know. These are just very short, to the point, a recap of my first 10 episodes, and I'm always open to talk about more leadership tips, tricks, and techniques, as the military likes to throw that acronym out there. But with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this short episode. I'm just doing it to let you guys know which episode works best for you. So if you like an episode that you've listened to, share it. If you're trying to step outside of your comfort zone, I challenge you to listen to one of those other episodes as well. All right, I'm going to sign off. We're going to go build some Legos. If you need anything from me, you know what to do. Just holler. Reach out to me on Instagram, and let's go crush this.